Today we're digging into the mind of CZ, the CEO of Binance. In a recent interview, he laid out his entire crypto strategy, his thoughts on Bitcoin's future, and some really tough lessons he's learned along the way. So if you're in crypto, you're definitely going to want to hear this playbook.
All right, first things first. Let's tackle the question that literally everyone in crypto struggles with. Should you be a day trader, glued to the screen trying to time the market perfectly? Or should you just buy, hold, and, get on with your life? It's the ultimate dilemma. And here's the answer from the guy who runs the world's biggest crypto exchange. He doesn't trade at all. He just holds. Now, that's pretty surprising, right? You'd think the person with all the data and all the tools would be trading nonstop, but nope. And look, this isn't just some theory for him. He's been there. CZ openly says he actually tried trading about a decade or two ago, and he lost money doing it. It's a super relatable story, and it's what taught him that his energy was much better spent building things rather than trying to perfectly time the market. So when you put the two side by side, the picture gets pretty clear. Day trading is the super high-risk, high-stress game that, let's be honest, most of us just don't have the expertise for. On the other hand, long-term holding is way simpler. It lets you bet on the actual value of a project and comes with a whole lot less stress. For CZ, especially for regular folks, it's not even a contest. So if holding is the strategy, how does that fit into the bigger picture of the market? Well, to really get his long-term vision, we have to look at how he sees Bitcoin's historical patterns. And this is the key. The whole reason he's a holder is because he believes that trying to guess where the price is going to go tomorrow or next week or even next month is basically a fool's game. He says no one can do it consistently, so it's better to ignore all that short-term noise and just focus on the long-term signal. And historically, that signal has followed a pretty clear rhythm, a 4-year cycle. I mean, think about it. We had that insane peak in 2017, which was followed by a rough bear market in 2018. Then, almost like clockwork, 4 years later, boom, a new peak in 2021, and yep, you guessed it, another bear market followed. It's been the heartbeat of the market for a while now. But what if that familiar beat is about to change? This is where CZ's ideas get really, really interesting. He's looking into the future and saying, hey, we might be on the edge of something totally different. He calls it a potential super cycle. And he even puts a specific year on it, 2026. That's the year he's pointing to as the one that could break that whole 4-year pattern we've gotten so used to. So, the big question is, why? What could possibly be powerful enough to shake up that established cycle?
Well, he thinks the whole game is changing from the ground up. We're not just talking about retail anymore. We are seeing huge institutions and even governments, including the US, finally getting serious about crypto. That kind of widespread acceptance could be the rocket fuel that breaks the old pattern and launches something way bigger, a massive tide that could lift not just Bitcoin, but maybe the whole crypto space with it.
All right, so that's the exciting look at the future. But now we've got to pull it back to a really important lesson from the past. Because all that amazing growth and success, it doesn't just happen. It all has to be built on a really strong and sometimes really difficult foundation, and that's compliance. CZ was incredibly honest about this. He said that back in the early days, they let US users sign up on their main global site. And that decision later turned into a massive, massive headache with US banking regulators. The lesson he learned the hard way? If he could do it all over again, he'd have blocked US users from day one. It just goes to show you that playing by the rules isn't a suggestion. It's absolutely critical if you want to stick around.
Okay, let's bring this all home. We've heard his personal strategy, his big predictions for the market, and one of his biggest lessons learned. So if we put it all together, what does the CZ playbook actually look like for somebody trying to navigate this space?
It really boils down to 4 key rules. First, for most of us, long-term holding just makes more sense than trying to be a day trader. Second, stop stressing about the daily price charts and start thinking about the 5 to 10-year horizon. Third, keep an eye on 2026 as a year when things could get really interesting, all thanks to that growing mainstream support. And finally, and this is a big one, regulatory compliance has to be baked in from the very beginning. It's not just a nice to have, it's the foundation of everything.
So, after hearing all that from one of the most influential people in the entire industry, a guy who's tried trading and failed, built a global giant, and is still looking ahead, does it change anything for you? Does it make you think twice about your own approach? Is your strategy built to last for the long haul, or is it maybe time to rethink a few things?